Stokes inspires England to defeat stubborn India.
Ben Stokes once again inspired England to a 22-run win over a stubborn India on an unbearably tense final day of the third test at Lord's. The captain delivered a monumental shift with the ball to claim 3 wickets as India were bowled out for 170.
In an epic conclusion, the hosts had victory in their grasp until nerves were frayed by outstanding defiance from Ravindra Jadeja.
Chasing 193, India were 112-8 when Jadeja was joined by number 10 Jasprit Bumrah. They were together for almost 22 overs until Stokes, who bowled tirelessly from the nursery end, drew Bumrah into a pull to mid-on.
Bumrah's contribution to a stand of 35 was 5 from 54 balls. Still Jadeja resisted, this time with last man Mohammad Siraj. Stokes refused to stop bowling. A delayed tee was taken with 30 required for India. The injured Shoaib Bashir was summoned after the break, and incredibly got Siraj to defend the ball into the ground and back onto his stumps. Bashir set off on a delirious celebration, probably his last act of a series in which he is likely to be ruled out of the final 2 tests. Jadeja was left stranded on 61 from 181 balls. The drawn-out finale was a direct contrast to a pulsating morning, when Stokes and Jofra Archer broke open the India batting with some irresistible pace bowling. Archer ripped Rishabh Pant's off stump out of the ground. Stokes had KL Rahul LBW on review for 39. Washington Sundar, who confidently told the media on Sunday night India will win, was sensationally held by Archer's agile swoop in his follow-through. Jadeja began his vigil, first alongside Nitish Kumar Reddy for 15 overs, then Bumrah. Jadeja and Britton Cars had to be separated after an accidental collision while Jadeja was running between the wickets. England tried everything and thought they had Jadeja until he overturned being given LBW to Chris Woakes on 26.
Once again, Stokes decided it was up to him.
After a spell of 9.
2 overs in the morning, the talismanic captain launched into another of 10 up to tee. Bashir had the moment of glory, but it was Stokes who carried England on his back.
Stokes conjures finale to slow-burning test.
This was a slow burner of a test, one that occasionally ground to a halt.
The finale was more than worth it, a rowdy Monday at a sold-out Lord's.
By the end, England's win was the tightest in terms of runs at this famous old ground. It took 3 days for this match to spring to life. When it did, it was compelling. The deterioration of the pitch helped, but the real catalyst was the tension between the 2 teams. They are evenly matched and, if anything, India are unlucky to be behind.
The last 2 tests will be box office viewing.
England look a better team with fire in the bellies, none more so than Stokes, the arch competitor. He contributed to this win with bat and in the field, then shouldered the bowling almost single-handedly on the final day. Stokes was also rewarded for his loyalty to Archer, who made one of the great England comebacks after 4 years away from Test cricket with injuries. The wicket of Yashasvi Jaiswal he took with his 3rd ball back was an incredible moment, his spell on Monday morning final proof he remains every bit the bowler he was in his debut summer of 2019.
England will be forced into one change for the 4th test, with Bashir set to be ruled out with an injury to his left little finger.
India will wait on the fitness of Pant, who also has a finger injury. In this wonderful year of Test cricket, with an Ashes on the horizon, England are on the verge of winning a 5-match series for the first time since 2018.
England overcome brave Jadeja. Archer was below par on Sunday evening, but back to his best on Monday when India resumed 58-4. Although he was in discomfort, Pant was India's key man. He charged to slap Archer straight for 4. Next ball, Archer was just under 90 miles per hour, Pant was stuck on the crease and off-stump obliterated. A fired-up Archer had words for Pant. Stokes, supposedly protecting his fragile body, bowled virtually all day. The delivery to get Rahul was an arcing in-swinger, the appeal turned down on the field, then overturned by the replay. England coach Brendan McCullum hung off the dressing room balcony to point to Sundar as he arrived, and the home team had plenty to say. He lasted only 4 balls before a leading edge was spectacularly held by Archer. Stokes eventually gave way to Woakes, who only needed 9 balls to find the edge of Reddy. Lunch was taken, India needed 81 and Jadeja had only the bowlers for company. What happened next was utterly unexpected. Jadeja farmed the strike and Bumrah held up his end. Bar a Jadeja flick for 6 off Wokes, the score crawled along.
When singles were taken, they were greeted by raucous noise from the India fans.
England fielders ran everywhere, the hosts looked unnerved.
Stokes launched into a back-breaking spell of bouncers to finally draw the swipe from Bumrah when 46 were required.
Stokes finally ended his second spell at the tea interval.
Archer peppered Siraj, but it was the unlikely Bashir who proved England's hero.
It was cruel on Jadeja, who could not have given more. India on brink.
Just like the first test at Headingley, when they failed to defend 371, India might be wondering how they lost.
At Lord's they reached 254-4 in response to England's 387, then 41-1 in the run chase. In Bumrah, they have the outstanding cricketer on either side, probably the best in the world. He was mesmerizing in this test, deserving of more than his 7 wickets.
The heart he showed with the bat was just as impressive.
Still, India have lost the 2 tests Bumrah has played and won the one he did not, the second test at Edgbaston.
If the tourists stick to their plan of him featuring only once more in the series, they have the tricky decision of where that would be.
Will go into the fitness of Pant.
Dhruv Jurel is an upgrade behind the stumps, but the swashbuckling way in which Pant bats at number 5 is irreplaceable. India started this series as underdogs and were written off after the first test, yet through performances like Jadeja's, the visitors have shown they are in the fight.
Subscribe now for the latest cricket news, match reactions, and expert analysis.